Also cleared this week, Wigan scrum half Andy Gregory. Rugby League Live pictures were used to clear him of biting Kurt Sorensen of Widnes a fortnight ago, and he's escaped suspension to play in an unchanged lineup. Hampson, Edwards, Lucas, Betts, Platt and Hanley all starred in the test win in France. Ian Lucas's test debut means that former All Black Frano Botica is now the only uncapped player in the starting lineup. If you believe all you read, this is the man Wigan would like in their number 5 shirt. Anthony Sullivan is in the last year of his contract with Hull Kingston Rovers and is rumoured to have attracted a 6-figure bid from Central Park, but both clubs say that's all it is, a rumour. Rovers are without no fewer than 10 senior players through injury, including their overseas stars David Watson, Brian Niebling and James Goulding. Mark Wildridge makes his debut in a decimated back division. A lot will depend on the goal-kicking of Mike Fletcher, the game's leading point scorer last season. Alan Burke refereed the Lancashire Cup final on this ground in front of the Rugby League Live cameras earlier this season. He's a crematorium superintendent from Oldham. Andy Gregory, Sean Edwards, Dean Bell. Lucas going on himself from acting half-back. Scales over 17 stone, but still very mobile. Edwards and Gregory on the run around. Beautifully delivered for Ellery Hanley. Support from Joe Lydon. And Wigan have scored inside 90 seconds. It was just like a training routine, wasn't it? Joe Lydon, the finisher, his 7th try of the season. But Gregory and Hanley at the heart of things, inevitably. Peter Tunks.
A dream start, Clive. Obviously, Wigan would have liked to get off to a good start, and after 90 seconds, you couldn't hope for anything better than this. The ball sped out along the line, given out to Sean Edwards. He gives it back to Gregory on the run around. Picks up Hanley, ever present, gets outside Zuckema, who came through, didn't get a hand to him, steps back inside. Lydon looms up, and 6 points under the post.
It was a beautifully delivered pass by Gregory. And once Hanley was in the clear, there were always possibilities for Wigan.
Danger signs are well and truly out for Hull KR here. They come here with a depleted side. They would have liked to have put a very strong effort up in the first session, but after 90 seconds, that's not the way to go about things.
But they're finding all out about life at the top in the early stages here at Central Park. 9 minutes gone, they trail by 6 points to 0, and Wigan camped on their line again. Hanley. Big hit by Des Harrison. Smuggled out to Andy Gregory, though. Taken on by Kelvin Skerrett. Smuggled out to Kevin Iro. And another try for Joe Lydon. And Wigan just somehow kept the ball alive there to put Lydon in. Hanley's strength made the initial inroads. But then some good and adventurous movement of the ball kept the move going. And Joe Lydon was on hand to pounce again.
Here we have Hanley just coming onto a simple hit up. He's held by 3 Hull KR defenders, but they fall off him. Very weak defence. He gets the ball back to Gregory, who just runs wide, looking for a runner. Uses a couple of options, slips it inside to Skerrett, who does very well to hold off a defender. Get a passer in between 2 Hull KR defenders over there to Iro, who just picks up Joe Lydon for the easiest of tries.
We talk about the strength of these big forwards, but tremendous athleticism there from Kelvin Skerrett to somehow smuggle that pass out of the tackle.
He did very well, but this all came back from a penalty in the 25 against Hull KR. Normally, a First Division side would have had a crack at goal this early in the game, but they're showing scant regard for the Hull KR defence at the moment, and the way things are heading here, it could be embarrassing unless Hull KR get their act together.
There's the pass from Skerrett. Look, in behind Paul Fletcher.
That was a great ball from Kelvin Skerrett.
One ball playing prop, complementing another. Bottinger's on the mark again. And Wigan are scoring at better a point a minute than the moment. Good break by Dermott. Skerrett in support. Wigan 8 yards out. Gregory. Last couple of minutes of the first half. Martin Dermott. Edwards. Plenty of runners. Iro. Hanley. No contest. Plenty strong enough. Two of the strongest men in the game involved in that try. Kevin Iro just beating off the challenges to set up Ellery Hanley for his 15th try of the season.
Here we go. We just have a typical Wigan backline move. They throw the ball around. Edwards looks for a couple of options, dummies. He pushes out of some very weak, ineffective tackles. Gives the ball to Iro. Iro comes up, gets rid of one defender. Dummies to the outside. Another man on the inside gets him. He throws it back to Ellery Hanley, and by the time he gets the ball, it's all over.
Keeping up his 100% record. That's his 5th successful kick of an afternoon, which, nearing the halfway point, has been dominated by Wigan. 22 points to 0 they lead. Dean Bell. Fifth tackle. Andy Gregory. Phil Clark. Andy Gregory. Kevin Iro. Oh, lovely little kick. Oh, what a sucker blow. Kevin Iro scores Wigan's 4th try of the afternoon. And he nutmegged the defender there. He kicked it right between his legs. And there was no cover and no bother for Kevin Iro.
Here we have Wigan applying the pressure in the Rovers 25 yet again. Gregory runs across, gives the ball to Phil Clark, who miraculously gets it back to Gregory. Gregory has nowhere to go, no option, so he gives it to Iro. He sees a wall of blue and white jerseys, says, well, I'll just put this through Des Harrison's legs. Just easiest of bounces and under the post to make it look ever so simple.
I don't think Des Harrison will want to see that one again. Quick thinking by Kevin Iro. I wonder if that's where he was aiming. Bottic attacks on another 2. 40 missed tackles by Hull Kingston Rovers, and that's a suicide pact at Wigan. Andy Gregory. Hampson. Now here's an opportunity for Chris Rudd. Oh, is he going to go all the way himself? Bottic is there. They've kept it alive. Paul Lyman, and there's some points on the board for Hull Kingston Rovers. And they stuck at it. Wigan's loss of rhythm coughed up a mistake, and Paul Lyman was able to benefit. And that clean sheet which Wigan have kept all afternoon has been soiled by Lyman.
What we have is some indecision here by Steve Hampson. He doesn't know whether to give it to Andy Gregory. A bad pass picked up by Rovers. The cover coming across was Ian Lucas. He steps back inside him. He can't see, he can't outrun Bodica. He throws the ball across to Lyman, but that just goes down to silly mistakes by Wigan. Unforced errors, trying to play touch and pass once again.
Mike Fletcher hitting the upright, which rather sums up Hull Kingston Rovers' afternoon. But they've got something to show from their troubles with that try by Paul Lyman. Philip Clark. Lucas got that off to Skerritt somehow.
If they can hold the ball for 6 here, I think that they'll get another score here, because Rovers are looking very vulnerable out on the right.
And that's where it's going. Edwards. Iro. Myers. That was the only ball that he wanted. And that's what he'll come up with for you. David Myers repays the faith that was shown in him at last by his centre. Scores Wigan's 5th try of the afternoon. And Prophet Tunks will now tell you all about it.
When they play the ball, it's simply a matter of numbers here. Rovers' defence did not spread to the left-hand side of the post as they should have. Wigan had superior numbers, and all it was man draw man. Anthony Sullivan had to be drawn in on Kevin Iro, and David Myers showed very good strength here to get away from 2 defenders and put the ball down. Simply catch and pass here. Notice the Rovers line, they're not going up opposite their man, they're not racing up trying to put any pressure on. Iro sees that, simply draws Sullivan, and Myers has a 20-yard sprint to the line. He gets out of one tackle there, the fullback can't stop him, Sullivan gets back, but it's too late.
It's his 8th of the season, and it's only his 2nd since the start of November. In front of Botica, who's 7 for 7 at the moment, and is faced by his most difficult kick of the afternoon. Round the corner, despite the torpedo setup. Bit of mix and match between rugby union and rugby league, his style. Watch him kick right through the ball. Ooh, didn't quite reach. It was the right direction. And the first disappointment from the boot of Frano Botica today. And the hooter brings to an end an afternoon of torment for the visitors. 5 tries, 2 for Lydon, 1 for Hanley, 1 for Iro, 1 for Myers. Botica, 7 out of 8.